Well, hello. How are you doing out there in internet land? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let's try that again. Because I didn't bring much juice to that one. Hi, how are you doing out there in internet land? My name is Brian Trippett. I am the Front Porch Conservative, and welcome to the Thursday night newsroom. That fun little thing we do where we get together, we give our views on the news, and we try to help each other get through this crazy thing that we call life. My name is Brian Trippett. I am known in social media as the Front Porch Conservative. I am sometimes known as the kid in the lid. On occasion, I'm known as the wise guy in the wide brim. Sometimes I'm known as the chap in the cap. But in everything, above all else, I am your host. We are on Rumble. We are on Twitter. And we are on that quaint little alternative social media platform known as YouTube. So please do me some favors, as always. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so. Number two, please make it a point to share the link around with your friends. We are a going little concern, and we like to be a going big concern if at all possible. Also, while you're at it, hit the bell for notifications, leave a comment in chat, hit the thumbs up button, do all those things that you are a want to do to make this little thing we do go places. All right, let's see who all is in the house so far. Oh, yes, TBA is here. He is making his presence known with many memes, and yes, I'll be using a couple of them, sir. Oh, my goodness, how you doing? Fist bump to you. One of the OG Wingnuts is here tonight. There you go. WWG1 is in the house. So, yes, good to see you. Yes, indeed. Let's see who else is here. Miss Lana's in the house. Mwah. How are you doing, gorgeous? Gypsy's here as always. Zippy's in the house doing his zippy thing. Oh, my goodness. Oh, do not worry about it, my dear. It is all good in the hood. So don't you worry about a thing, that song says. Good to have you guys here tonight. You have almost made it to the weekend. Praise God, I think we're going to be all right. Well, no, I take that back. I know we're going to be all right. Hang on one second, folks. I got to situate myself. The boys over on Rumble have provided me with many memes again, and some of them will get used tonight, some of them will not. Some of them will be used from the other night, or the thing, or I don't know, whatever. Yeah, the thing, do that. I'm starting to sound like Joe Biden here. Good grief. Anyhow, glad to have you guys with us. Got a lot to talk about tonight, and we've got a few memes to start the show off with, as we are a wont to do. So give me 1 second here. I'm just about got everything the way I want it. So hopefully, let's see. Let's see if this is going to let me. Oh, yeah, I look so much better now. Ooh. Yeah, WWG1, take that. That's what you get for talking about my face. Get more of it. There. I tell you what. And all you techie people out there in my audience, you know this more than anybody else, but daggone, isn't it something when a computer starts working for you? Woo. Anyhow, all right, let's get down to business, people. Now, hello, Rhonda. Slightly less sunny Florida. Well, y'all got rain down there or something? What the heck is going on? That's not good. If y'all got less than sunny, tell you what. Oh, buddy, do it ever. Do it ever. Do it ever. Now, we've hit the fall of the year. How do I know that? Well, certain things start happening. And number one, at 7 o'clock, we start losing daylight. Number two, we're getting closer and closer to various hunting seasons in my home state. And as many of y'all know, I am from the great state of West Virginia. As I'm fond of saying, I'm American by nationality, Southerner by birth, and West Virginian by the grace of God. And part of the uniqueness that means you're from West Virginia is that you appreciate or you participate in the various hunting seasons. And to be perfectly honest about it, hunting in West Virginia is very much a family activity. Now, I suppose you could say that's true of a lot of states where gun ownership rights tend to be prevalent and cherished. But in West Virginia, it's very, very true, especially when it involves hunting. it is a generational thing. We start taking our family members out in the woods very early on. We might be hunting squirrel, we might be hunting fox, whatever, but we are all about the hunt. And I tell you one thing, I know this much. We start our kids early, daggone it. We really do. However, that said, I'm not so sure if in West Virginia we're not taking our kids out just a little bit too early. Um, when the 18-month-old is, using this kind of language about bagging a deer that early in the morning, I don't know, folks. It may very well be that we are just maybe we're carrying this thing just a little bit too far. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you know, uh, you know, maybe we need to put like an age minimum on this thing. Like, okay, if you're 5 years old, okay, then we're going to take you out in the woods, go hunting. This kid looks just a little bit too young to me. I could be wrong, but Why, TBA, you old softy, you. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh, Z Highness is in the house representing the 199. How are you, darling? Mwah. Good looking thing. Oh, they do. Truly, they do. Well, yeah, he does look happy. I mean, he got his deer. Okay. How do you not be happy in that case? And he bagged his first one at like 18 months or however old he is. Good night. Yeah. Yeah. Oh dear is right. You got that right, sister. Oh goodness me. All right. What else do we have on the plate tonight by way of the merry memes? Let's see. You know, communication can be so easily misrepresented or misunderstood is probably the better way of saying it. We say things, we misunderstand them. Even in but it's even more pronounced misunderstandings in nonverbal communication. I mean, just when you think you're sending one message, you wind up realizing you're sending another, or it could very well be you're not even trying to send a message at all. I mean, for example, you could be riding along on the bus and you're just sitting there minding your own business, and some people would take your actions as some kind of a statement about what you think about the bus ride or public transportation in general. That's what I'm saying. We've got to be very careful about how we communicate because, you could just be sitting there real innocent, minding your own business. And then before you realize it, people are just saying things about you or they think they're saying things about you. So I don't know, folks. I don't quite know. I don't know how you get around the problem of miscommunicating, particularly if you're not saying anything at all. But I guess we have to try and be more careful in all things, if and at all possible. So, just a word to the wise. No matter where you are, out with friends, out to dinner, alone, maybe you're riding along in a car, or, kind of like this guy, you're riding in public transportation. Just be careful about how you're perceived. That's all I'm saying. Oh, goodness me, goodness me, goodness me. Oh, my goodness. There is an insatiable curiosity in the heart of mankind to want to know things. We are always wanting to try to obtain knowledge. We are always trying to advance our understanding of the world in which we live. However, you sometimes wonder if there aren't some mysteries that should not just be left alone. I mean, for example, ask yourself this question. Do you really want to know the answer to this one? Do you really want to know if this is true or not? I don't know about you guys. I'm ready to let this one go. Call me crazy. I really don't need. I really just, yeah, exactly. I don't want to know. I really don't want to know, what what makes up Brigitte Macron? I really don't want to know. Just no. Yeah. They say that not knowing is truly frightening. I disagree. I say knowing the answer to that one is truly frightening. Mm. Rhonda, I don't think you're wrong about that. Now that I stop and think about it, you may be absolutely right. Maybe you're right. Oh, goodness me. What else do we have here? A lot can be said about public education, what it will do and what it won't do, either individually for our kids or corporately for us as a nation. But one thing is for sure, ladies and gentlemen, we know this truth to be absolutely certain, that no matter how much state schooling we have, it's never going to give us everything we know to do one of the most important things in life. I mean, I'm not saying, but I am just saying. There you go. All right. What else do we have in the way of the merry memes? Yes. Remember how I said a minute ago, there's some things you don't want to know the answer to? I absolutely wholeheartedly agree with that idea. There are just some things you don't want to know, no matter what. And at a certain point in the year, I definitely don't want to find out certain things. For example, usually around the 15th of April, I definitely don't want this question answered, because I'm either going to get mad, I'm going to cry, or I'll do something. So, yeah. Totally. I do not want the answer to this question usually around the 15th of April, because I'm just going to get mad. And let's be honest about it. You would too. You would too. Oh, goodness me. All right. What else do we have in the way of the merry memes? Oh. Late breaking news out of Great Britain. Now, as y'all know, I like to keep up sometimes with what goes on in Western European politics, as usually it finds its way across the water to bother us. And that means I'm usually keeping an eye on what the British people are doing, or more particularly their current Prime Minister, Keir Starmer. And there's been all kinds of scandal and controversy surrounding the current Prime Minister of Great Britain. So much so, in fact, that Milton Bradley, the owners of the game Monopoly, have redesigned their Monopoly board to make it, how shall we say, to make it more a reflection of what is going on in the British Isles. And they've actually got a draft of what kind of board they're putting together for Great Britain. So if you ever play Monopoly, the UK edition, this is probably the board that you're going to see going forward. I don't know, but there seems to be a common theme here. I don't quite know what it is, but seem to be, I don't know, have they changed the properties around? I mean, what the heck is going on here? I don't know. But yeah, this is the new UK edition of Monopoly, that old Milton Bradley game that teaches us a lot in life. And apparently the British are learning one very hard lesson when it comes to their political leadership. So there you go, folks. I don't know, though. Call me crazy. I think I'll just stick with the old-fashioned American version of the game, and I'll definitely leave this version of it to the British. Yeah. Go to jail. Go straight to jail. Go right away to jail. Trust me, Katie Hopkins is probably saying that every day when she thinks about Keir Starmer. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. All right. A few more memes, and then we'll get down to the heart of what we're talking about tonight. Oh, by the way, in case you guys hadn't heard, the shutdown is still going on in Washington, D.C. The government is still shut down. And the more I think about that, it reminds me of that old joke. If a tree falls on a mime in the woods, would anyone care? Well, that's kind of how I feel about a shutdown of the federal government. If the federal government is shut down, does anybody really care? Well, apparently politicians do. And a matter of fact, we've got a Nancy Pelosi sighting. She went on CNN recently to comment on certain things that are going on in Washington, D.C. because of the government. See, I'm going to come, Gypsy, I'm going to come back to this because you bring up a really good point. And actually, you bring up something that I have always said is the inherent danger for the Democrats whenever they weaponized the idea of a government shutdown a long time ago. But remind me to come back to this point. But anyway, Nancy Pelosi was on CNN recently, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, she was opining on many different things. And give me 1 second here, and I'll show you what she's talking about. With this, ladies and gentlemen, please hear from the former Speaker of the House about the current state of things in Washington, D.C.
Let's not stipulate to that. It's not a fancy argument going into that. The point is,
they are voting yes on what we say here in Washington, a clean CR, a bill to keep the government running for 7 weeks, and Democrats are voting no.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's safe to say that appearance didn't go very well. Call me crazy if you wish, but I've seen her have better days. Now, this is true. This is true. This is very, very true. So, yeah. Brother, you're not the only one who can see that happening. A lot of people can see that happening. Well, yeah, I think you answered your own question, dear. I don't think she was sober. Oh, jeez. Well, we've heard from Nancy Pelosi. Now we've heard from Donald Trump. As a matter of fact, he today signed a very important executive order related to the current government shutdown. And matter of fact, I think this is going to make a lot of people very happy. So with that, let's go to the White House, see what this executive order is all about. And you're going to hear someone speaking in the background. I think it's either Stephen Miller or Will Scharf. And they kind of Will Scharf is kind of like an executive assistant to the president. And he's telling everybody what this executive order is that Trump's about to sign. So with that, let's listen in a little bit and see what's going on.
This executive order is to extend the use of the sombrero memes until the Schumer shutdown is over, Mr. President.
Hold it. This is a good one. Is everybody listening?
Yes, sir, we are listening. And we're very happy to say, go on, sign it now, my friend. That's what we're saying. Oh, goodness me. Goodness me. And needless to say, he signed that executive order today, and it did not take long for the effects of it to be felt everywhere on the internet. For example, this is a depiction of a local D.C. bar during the shutdown. Like I say, folks, when Donald Trump does something, it takes effect fast. So there you go. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Salty's in the house. Uh-oh. Salty is in the house. I think Trump ought to wear a sombrero when he's saying... You know what? I'm telling you right now. You know what? If Donald Trump ever wore a sombrero while he's signing an executive order, the internet is gonna melt down. Jeez, you think it's bad now whenever people on the left or the right are talking about Donald Trump on the internet? He wears a sombrero, or even better, a sombrero and a fake mustache. He will absolutely burn the internet down doing it. Oh my goodness gracious me. Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with this. I wholeheartedly agree. Lana, you're absolutely right. And I like the double edge of the word heel. Very nice. Nice touch, my dear. Oh, goodness me. Oh, by the way, speaking of sombrero memes, yeah, you're right. Trump, yeah, this is true. He would need to include the poncho. Trump needs to wear a sombrero, a fake black curly mustache, and a poncho. He does that. Oh, yeah, it's on, baby. It is on. Yeah, I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to go grab that thing. Now, speaking of sombreros, you know, we always talk about the fact that TBA is providing memes, that WWG1 is providing memes, Salty Old Fart, Adam, you know, everybody kicks in on the memes. Lana and Gypsy. Well, the lady has contributed a meme for this evening, and I want to say thank you, my dear. And in that spirit, she has contributed a meme, or she found one. She forwarded it to me and said, hey, you think you want to use this on the live stream tonight? I was like, oh, absolutely, my dear, especially since it comes from you. So with that in mind, here's the contribution from the lady in my life. And it goes a little something like this. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do, because this one's got quite the kick to it. So with that, sit back, relax, folks, and enjoy the show.
1, 2, 3.
¡Ay, ay, ay! Gracias a Chuck.
Can I just say that AOC looks really good in a flamenco girl dancer's dress? Is there anything wrong with that? No, I don't think so.
No hay paycheck. ¡Órale, mi gente!
Nancy's moving around pretty good.
Vacaciones.
Elizabeth Warren, check that out.
Se cayó la Casa Blanca. The doors are all locked down. Gracias a los demócratas. No money goes around. Customs sin tamales. The parks are full of trash. Chuck Schumer su bigote. Se acabó el cash. ¡Hey! El Schumer shutdown. Ay caramba, qué horror. Workers sin sueldo. But Congress drinks more. El Schumer shutdown. Tequila we pour. We broke en la casa. Pero fiesta. For sure. I'll tell ya. Ay, Dios mío, Social Security, la abuelita, ask ¿dónde es my money? But Chuck is dancing with Nancy, playing piñata con economy. El border's like a fiesta, with maracas and no wall. But if you need a paycheck, pues no viene at all. Bacha de Chacal. El Schumer shutdown. Mariachi tonight. The lights in el Capitol still shining bright. El Schumer shutdown. Qué loco país. No hay checks para la gente. But plenty for DC. Señor presidente, no tenemos dinero, pero we still got cerveza. El Schumer shutdown. Gracias, Chuck. Ole. We laugh with the trumpets, but bills we can pay. El Schumer shutdown.
Well, there you
1,
go,
2,
folks.
3.
There you go, folks. a contribution from the lady. So with that, my darling, thank you very much. Yes, cha-cha-cha, absolutely. Get down on it. Oh, it scares me to death, but yes, it can be so much fun. Oh my goodness. Oh, let's see. Hang on, y'all. I just saw a couple of things. Bless his heart. You gotta love old Salty. He's thrown in. Let me see if I can find the stuff he's contributed. One moment, please. Let's see here. What have I got? What have I got? Oh, Salty, you are so on the money about this. People. Oh, the pit crews in Cincinnati. They're here tonight. How are y'all doing? Good to see you all chiming in from the Queen City. Some dear friends of mine out in the great Cincinnati area. The pit, yep, absolutely glad to have y'all in the house tonight. He just might. I mean, I think back in the day, he used to hang out at Studio 54 in New York City. Now, of course, that was way back in the day. I don't know if, of course, the Trump dance is pretty popular. So maybe if he hits the clubs down there in South Florida, maybe he'll start a thing. Who knows with Donald? So you have to wonder. They say politics really does. If politics can really change it, and I'll make an argument that's really true when it comes to the Democrat Party, because oh my gosh, you will not. I mean, you won't believe how much making a Democrat will truly change you. I mean, good grief, it is something to behold. It changes you as a woman. It definitely changes you as a man. I mean, my goodness, the things that being a Democrat does, I tell you, oy vey. And you wonder why I'm an independent? That's why. Anyway, you blame Salty for that one. I'm just putting them up here, baby. That's all I'm doing. That is all I am doing. Oh my goodness. No, that will not be at the TP USA halftime event, which, thank you for reminding me about that, because that's something we ought to talk about on Saturday. Since we'll have a little bit more time on our hands. So there you go. Thank you for that one, dear. Because I definitely want to get into that. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. All right. I thought Salty had one more of these that he wanted me to throw into the mix. Let me take a look at this real fast, ladies and gentlemen. One moment, please. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Hold on. We have another Hakeem Jeffries sighting, and you guys are going to want to see this. So one moment, please. Hakeem has been heard from. Let's see what Hakeem has to say. This is apparently from a few days ago. As I look at that picture, there's only one question that I have. I wonder whose ass Hakeem is riding. I don't know. Crazy. All right. Much thanks to WWG1. Much thanks to Salty. Much thanks to TBA for all the contributions to this wonderful little thing we do. But yes, we are carrying over. Oh, well, Patty, thank you, my dear. This is very kind of you. Thank you very much for the super sticker. Greatly appreciated as always. Worst horror movie ever. Which one? Dylan Mulvaney or Hakeem Jeffries riding an ass? I don't know. I don't know which one we're talking about here. I don't know. But anyway, no, thank you for the memes, for the super sticker, for everything you guys do. You guys are totally awesome. Rhonda's like, yes, all of it. All of it. Oh, goodness me. Oh, goodness me. I tell you. And what memes are not used tonight, they will be saved for a later date. So there you go. There you go. Anyway, much thanks to all of you. All right, let's get down to business, as we are a wont to do. Now that we got some of the silly out of our system. What do I mean, some of the silly? We're never going to get all the silly out of our system. That's the beauty of Fedora Nation. All right. I told you guys we'd have some late breaking, and sure enough, we do. I'm going to be very curious to see or listen to some people with regard to what is actually in the documents, but it has finally happened. You've heard the expression, the chickens have come home to roost. When you sow to the wind, you reap the whirlwind. You reap what you sow. Well, Letitia James tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Letitia James has now reaped the whirlwind. So with that, I got a story here from the New York Post you guys are going to be very interested in. Headline: New York Attorney General Letitia James indicted over mortgage fraud claims, says source. Story by Josh Christensen. We have the following. New York Attorney General Letitia James was indicted Thursday by a federal grand jury in Virginia on at least one charge of mortgage fraud, the Post has learned. Federal housing regulator Bill Pulte referred James to the Justice Department in April, claiming that she had, quote, falsified records to get a sweetheart home loan deal for a Virginia property she claimed as her, quote, principal residence in 2023, while she was starting her second term as New York's top prosecutor. Pulte suggested that James had committed crimes, including wire fraud, mail fraud, bank fraud, and false statements to a financial institution, among other offenses. So, yep, she is indicted. Now, like I said, I have not seen the language of the indictment, what it was specifically she was indicted for. And that's probably going to be my job tomorrow, among other things, is to try and figure out exactly what did they get her for. Because Bill Pulte, who's the housing regulator who started all this, seemed to indicate that her crimes were many. Now, let me do say this. I know a little something about the mortgage industry, and I'll go ahead and tell you guys, I'm formerly of the mortgage industry. I'm now working in a different area. So I can talk a little more now about the things I know. Trust me, when it comes to disclosures on a mortgage application, the federal government takes that very seriously. And if she claimed, and it can be proven that she claimed, that that property in Virginia was her primary residence, when in reality it wasn't, that could constitute mortgage fraud. Now, you ask the question, well, what's the big deal? Who cares where she declares her primary residence? What you declare or where you declare your primary residence may or may not affect the rate you get on a mortgage loan. If she did this knowing full well that it would get her a better interest rate on her loan, then yeah, she's got a problem. So, we're going to keep an eye on this. Like I say, tomorrow I'll probably have a little more detail. We are doing a brunch on Saturday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern. So, plan on stopping by for it. I'll see if I can get some more details about this tomorrow and tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. But yeah, Letitia James has been indicted. So it's one count in the indictment we'll see how strong the case is. Now, Nate, the lawyer, who I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with, his gut instinct is telling him this indictment's a load of BS. Well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. We'll see. But she sowed the wind. She's now reaping the whirlwind. People try to tell her not to do this for a lot of different reasons. So we'll see what happens. All right, what else is going on? Well, the big thing that's going on right now are the reverberations coming off of Donald Trump's peace deal. And this got announced late yesterday evening, probably around, I don't know, probably around 4:30, 5 o'clock. And yeah, this one has the potential to be huge. And with that, let's go to the pages of NBC News, and we will talk about what we're talking about. One moment, please. Here we go. From NBC News, Israel and Hamas agree to truce and hostage release. Trump said he may visit the Middle East this weekend, but didn't specifically say he would be going to Egypt where peace talks are being held. Article written by Freddie Clayton, Jean-Nicolas Fevet, and Chantal De Silva. We have the following. Headline, Israel and Hamas have agreed to a, quote, first phase of a plan to end the war in Gaza, President Donald Trump announced on Wednesday, with both parties also acknowledging that a deal had been reached. Quote, I am very proud to announce that Israel and Hamas have both signed off on the first phase of our peace plan, Trump wrote in a post on Truth Social. He said that under the deal, all of the hostages would be released very soon, and that Israel would withdraw its troops to an agreed-upon line in what he said would mark, quote, the first steps toward a strong, durable, and everlasting peace. All parties will be treated fairly, Trump said, calling it a great day for the Arab and Muslim world, Israel, all surrounding nations, and the United States of America. He says thanks to mediators from Qatar, Egypt, and Turkey for their efforts. Hamas also confirmed an agreement in a statement on Wednesday, saying the deal came following, quote, responsible and serious negotiations between the movement and the Palestinian resistance factions. Hamas asked President Trump, the guarantor states of the agreement, various Arab, Islamic, and international parties to compel the Israeli government to fully implement the agreement's requirements in its statement. So, well, now, TBA, you bring up a really great point. You bring up a really good point. What's this going to do domestically? Now, what I'm about to say next is not meant to throw cold water on anything. I think this is reasonable. This is what's agreed to. Let's see what happens. Now, here's what I'm getting at. Would it surprise me terribly if some faction inside one of these two parties did something to try and kill the peace deal? No. These folks have been fighting for decades, centuries, millennia. Is that just going to stop because the people got together in Egypt and negotiated a peace deal? Probably not. Again, I am not trying to throw cold water on this. I think the fact that Donald Trump was able to get everybody together to get this thing done is remarkable. Let's see what happens over the next 72 hours. Because it looks like, according to reports, and I will pop this up on screen so you guys can see it if you have not heard yet, it looks like we are headed for a release of the hostages very, very soon. The president is saying that hostages will be released Monday or Tuesday as he is planning to travel to the Middle East. According to reports, Trump may be addressing the Israeli Knesset, which is their version of Congress. We'll see. I mean, and I give Trump a lot of credit. This was a massive, massive diplomatic effort. Matter of fact, I'm not the only one that feels this way. The course, I mean, you would expect Trump to get praise from right-wing media. You don't always expect it from people in the, quote, mainstream media. I got a series of clips here that I'd love to play for you guys. From, hang on, sorry. Let me fix this thing up right. Here we go. This is from ABC News last night during their 6:30 newscast.
For Israel, make no mistake, this is a huge night, potentially the end of the nightmare. For the people of Gaza, this is going to be an enormous relief. For the people of Israel, potentially the end of a 2-year-long nightmare.
And for these families still waiting for the remaining hostages who are still alive to come home, this has been an agonizing wait. And of course, the families who will get the remains of loved ones who died while in captivity.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know how I would react if I were a family member waiting with the hope that my loved one was coming home, and then to find out I'm coming to get their remains. I don't even have any idea how I would react. I really don't. And in one sense, that's what's going to be one of the many bittersweet things. If this goes through as envisioned, in other words, if come Monday or Tuesday, hostages are released, remains of hostages are released, I don't know how I would feel. I really don't. I don't know how I would feel that after 2 years, I'm coming to the airport to retrieve the remains of a loved one. And then juxtapose that with, and probably it would be done separately if I had to guess. But imagine what it would feel like if you're coming to the airport to take home the remains of one of your loved ones who's been in captivity for 2 years. And at the same time, you're watching family members come to collect, or not to collect, but to wait for one of their loved ones to come off the plane. Small time, that's a really good question. And by the way, welcome in tonight. We're glad to have you. I'm going to say yes. Because I'm going to say something here that's probably going to get me in trouble, but oh well, what else is new? I think the attack would have happened regardless of who the American president was. Because I think that attack had more, let me put it this way. The success of that attack on October 7th, 2023, had more to do with the Israeli government than it did with whoever's in the White House. Now, here's what I'm getting at. You're saying, well, why would it matter about the Israeli government? See, here's the problem I have always had with the attack on October 7th. Beyond what it was, my biggest problem is how. And what I'm getting at is this. How is it that the vaunted Israeli Mossad and the vaunted Israeli Defense Ministry, the IDF, how in the world did they not pick up on the fact that an attack that precise, that coordinated, that intricate in detail, a attack that took months, and I mean months, to plan. And by the way, not my words, that's from the New York Times from about 2 years ago. How is it that the vaunted Mossad and the IDF had no idea this was coming? And not only did they not have any idea it was coming, they may or may not have been given stand-down orders on that day, such that it slowed down their response time to what happened. Oh, you're just being a... No. Everything I'm saying is documentable. Okay? New York Times did stories about this years ago. And I still come back to the question, how did Israel not know this was coming? I ask you. You know, and also let me extend a happy birthday wish to this good fella. Happy birthday, sir. You know, yeah, this is my problem with it. This is my problem. They had foreknowledge of it. I think they did. Really think they did. I really think Netanyahu's government had foreknowledge of the attack. Oh, now you're just being... No, I'm not being anti-Semitic. If I am, so's the New York Times, by the way. And if I had that article, I'd love to show it to you guys. Exactly. They used paragliders for this attack. How do you paraglide into Israel and somebody not know it? That's crazy. Eden's Refuge says they knew, just like our... Yeah, I mean... Good evening, Eden's Refuge. Glad to have you here. I mean, how do you not know? Look, the CIA, MI6, various other intelligence agencies are considered to be top-notch around the world. Now, whether they are or not, you can debate. But my point is this. The Israelis are considered to be among the best, if not the best, at intelligence gathering in the world. How did they not know this was coming? How did they not know? Or did Benjamin Netanyahu know and he used this to political advantage? Translation, he used this as the justification to bomb the Gaza Strip into the Mediterranean Sea, which, by the way, I saw an estimate today, and this blew my mind, by the way, that the Israelis, ever since the October 7th attack in 2023, have dropped about 200,000 pounds of bombing ordnance on Gaza City. Someone said that is the equivalent of 13 Hiroshima bombs. So I'll ask the question. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to throw cold water on the significance of this peace deal. But my question is this. Did Benjamin Netanyahu use foreknowledge of an attack coming from Hamas or the Palestinians as the justification to just bomb Gaza and the Gaza Strip right out into the middle of the Mediterranean? I wouldn't be surprised to find out it's true. Eden's Refuge says, they knew that way they could keep the warmongering going. How else can they feign the black eye to whine to their big bro for more funny? That's a good point. That's a real good point. But anyway, we've got a peace deal in place. Now in all seriousness, let's pray that this is successful. I mean, it's got a long way to go on so many fronts, but let's pray this is successful. Let's pray that these hostages come home in the next 72 to 96 hours and that this ends a 2-year war. Like I said, there's a long way to go before you have the cessation of hostility, but let's see what happens. And like I say, a lot of folks in the mainstream media very high in their praise of Trump on this one. Well, yeah, and there's that. There is that, and people don't realize this. But it can be documented, and it can be proven. Well, it's funny you say that, Eden's Refuge. Trump basically had to get him to, well, I shouldn't say had to get him. Put it this way. Trump had to help Bibi realize that the glass was half full to help change his perspective. Because according to reports, when Trump said, hey, we've got a deal, Netanyahu's like, who cares? Trump basically read in the riot act, according to reports. Yeah, neither one of those are particularly good, but the latter is frightening. Oh, now this I absolutely agree with. I wholeheartedly agree with this. If the Israelis violate this peace deal, Trump is I wouldn't want to be a fly on the wall for the conversation that's going to take place between Trump and Netanyahu. I'm just saying. Interesting perspective. Interesting perspective indeed. Anyway, got some more clips. And, daggone it, why does it keep doing that? Hold on. Here we go. From Fox News at some point today. Thought you guys might want to hear this.
Crossing the wire moments ago, Gaza Hamas chief says we declare an end to the war today and the start of a permanent ceasefire. Apparently, along with that, they're going to open the Rafah crossing in both directions. I mean, Mr. Ambassador, there's a lot of promise in what we've been hearing in the last 24 hours, but Hamas does not have a good track record of living up to a lot of their commitments. I mean, they're basically signing on to their demise. And I would hazard a guess that there are some people within the Hamas, the remaining Hamas organization, who are saying, why are you doing this?
Well, again, they have those choices. It's a question of getting, giving up the hostages, ending this conflict. Look, if you take a helicopter over this region right now, there's no doubt who won the war.
Yeah, he's right. He's absolutely right. All right, got one more clip. And again, Trump got a lot of praise on this from people you wouldn't expect. David Ignatius, longtime writer at the Washington Post, chimed in on Morning Joe this morning. And you might be interested to hear his comments.
The deal that President Trump is announcing played a key part in negotiating. It is a significant change. This war was blocked for 2 years. President Biden, who preceded him, was unable to find a way to stop it. President Trump found that way by being tough on both sides. And he'll take a victory lap for sure over the next few days, but it's deserved. There's no way that I can see that this would have been done without Trump's pressure in the final hours.
Oh, I totally agree with you about this. I totally agree with you about this. But even the CIA cardboard cutout is giving you praise. Kind of interesting. Like I say, under normal circumstances, these people would just as soon spit on Donald Trump as they would anything else at the mention of his name. But at this moment, like I say, I am praying for this to work. I really am. I agree. I absolutely agree. Watching these guys have to comment on this, it's driving them nuts. Because they would love it if Biden did it. They'd love it even better if Kamala Harris had been the one to do it. But it's Trump, the man that they spent years trying to destroy, they now have to admit has helped broker peace in one of the most dangerous areas of the world. It's killing them. It is killing them to have to admit this. I think it's funny as all get out. All right, we're going to shift gears. And since it's almost the top of the hour, let me do a real fast commercial. If you're stopping by for the first time, and I'm seeing some old friends who haven't been here for a while, which, by the way, we've been out of circulation for a while, getting a computer upgrade, and it seems to be working out great. But if you haven't been here for a while, or you're here for the very first time, my name is Brian Trippett, and this live stream is known as the Thursday Night Newsroom. We get together a couple of times during the week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and we get together on Saturdays, Saturday morning in particular, for a sort of a brunchy session of this thing we do. We talk about the news here. People kind of find a way to laugh through it all. They bust my chops. I bust their chops, although they bust my chops more than I bust theirs. We like to have fun. We try and catch up on the news. We try and do things. And now, speaking of busting chops, I mean, I'll give you a perfect example. He says I have a computer problem because he can still see my face. I get no respect at all. Anyway, if you like catching up on the news, you like having some fun doing it, you like hanging out with a really cool community, why don't you go ahead and do me some favors? Why don't you subscribe on YouTube and subscribe on Rumble? Hit the bell for notifications, leave a thumbs up, and also leave a comment in chat and share the link around. Yes, and hit that like button, daggone it, regardless of whether you're on YouTube or whether you're on Rumble. We genuinely appreciate it. Now, I get all kinds of suggestions for things to talk about, and a lot of times I try to do it. And something came up, and I think it was Gypsy who sent me this. And I was thinking about talking about this anyway, but thank God she reminded me, because I saw something the other night, and I never, ever, ever again want to hear somebody on the political left claim that conservatives like me will not talk about the issues, that we will not, try to debate, try to engage, try to whatever. Katie Porter, who I think is still in the House of Representatives, either that or she's a former member of the U.S. House from out there in Orange County, California. She's a Democrat. She is also considered to be the leading contender to succeed Gavin Newsom in the governorship of the Golden State. The other day, she was being interviewed, and this exchange just infuriated me. But not only did it infuriate me, it may have done even more than that. It may have sunk her campaign before she even really gets started. Oh, I see y'all's comments. I see those hands out there. Bless your heart. Y'all hang on. We're going to talk about this. So Katie Porter is being interviewed by, I think it's a CBS reporter out in California. I'm not sure the young lady's name. And this exchange, if you want an example of absolute hypocrisy on the part of people on the political left, here's a real good example of it for you. So she's being interviewed in studio. And by the way, this reporter and this news station are interviewing all of the gubernatorial candidates, be they Democrats or Republicans, okay? So she's being interviewed. This clip runs about 3 minutes long. I'm going to stop it where I think is appropriate. But you guys have got to see, if you have not seen this yet, this is either going to blow your mind or you're going to sit there and go, another self-entitled Democrat. And in other news, water is wet. Here we go, folks. Do me a favor and check this out. You're going to find this real interesting. Now watch this.
What do you say to the 40% of California voters who you'll need in order to win, who voted for Trump?
Now, that's a reasonable question. In other words, hey, there's 40% of the electorate. They voted for Donald Trump. You're a Democrat. You're running for office. That's a reasonable question. Now, like I said, I don't know who this reporter is. I don't know her politics. I don't know anything about her. But that's a reasonable question. Now, watch how Katie Porter answers this.
How would I need them in order to win, man?
Well, unless you think you're going to get 60% of the vote. You think you'll get 60%? Everybody who did not vote for Trump will vote for you. That's what you're saying.
In a general election? Yes.
Wow. So let me get this straight. Katie Porter, Democrat running for governor of California, is of the belief that she can pick up the whole 60% of Kamala voters just because she's running and who she is. Oh my! Folks, it gets better. It gets better. We're just 20 seconds into this, and I'm dying to get your all's reactions. No, she is not a man. Okay, do not do that, sir. How untoward! Really? Now we're just getting downright personal about this. Please let us rise above. Anyway, no, I'm just messing with you, man. All right, here we go.
If it is me versus a Republican, I think that I will win the people who did not vote for Trump.
What if it's you versus another Democrat?
I don't intend that to be the case.
So how do you not intend that to be the case? Are you going to ask them not to run?
No, I'm saying I'm going to build the support. I have the support already in terms of name recognition. And so I'm going to do the very best I can to make sure that we get through this primary in a really strong position. But let me be clear with you. I represented Orange County. I represented a purple area. I have stood on my own 2 feet and won Republican votes before. That's not something every candidate in this race can say. If you're from a deep blue area, if you're from LA or you're from Oakland, you don't have an experience.
But you just said you don't need those Trump voters.
Well, you asked me if I needed them to win.
So you don't.
I feel like this is unnecessarily argumentative. What is your question?
Now, whoa, hold on a minute. Now, wait a minute, guys. And if you think I'm wrong, stop me. What did this woman say that was, quote, unnecessarily argumentative? She asked her a reasonable question. Is that, you mean to tell me you can win without Republican votes? That's a reasonable question, even in California. Okay? So you're saying all Democrats are just going to vote for you because you're a Democrat, and you can win without a single Republican vote? Really? Well, okay, it might have been pointed, but was it unfair? That's my question. I don't think the question was unfair. Yeah. I don't think so at all. All right, let's get back to some of this because this gets interesting. Wait a minute. There's an updated version of this? Really? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, folks. Hold on. Wait just a minute. We might be changing this thing out. Oh. Gypsy, I just found it. And yeah, we're gonna when we get done with this, we'll play this. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been presented with an updated version of that interview. Y'all hold on. I promise you. We're going to get to Gypsy's scoop that she's got, but let's get through this first. So anyway, now Katie Porter, now keep in mind, this woman's running for governor of California. She is asking or will be asking for people to vote for her, but she thinks the reporter is being all right. There's no getting around this. Hang on, folks. Hang on. We will come back to this version, by the way, that I'm currently playing right now. However, apparently it got very, very, touch and go between these two ladies. And Gypsy found some updated stuff. So give me 1 second here, folks, and we will get this up on the screen for you guys because we love you that much. So here apparently after that question, it went really downhill fast. And with that, check this out.
Obrigadassantes, esquemete.
Oh my word. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. Oh, stop it. What the? Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Listen, you folks out in California, if y'all gonna let your politicians act like this, no, you do not want this woman in the governor's mansion. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. When they're willing to slap reporters around like that and put wrestling moves on them, y'all look, y'all out there in California, you don't need that kind of negativity in your life. I'm just saying, okay. But I want to go back to the interview that I had up a minute ago. So she says that well, let your cat know that we're thinking of them very much. I'm just saying. What is it with this he thing? That Katie Porter is a woman. Come on, y'all. Really? I mean, you are Fedora Nation. You're supposed to be better than this. Come on now, be better. Well, hold that thought. We're going to get to that too. Okay. We're going to get to that too. So Katie Porter tells us, this journalist who's interviewing her, that she thinks that the question that she's being asked is highly argumentative. Well, it rolls downhill from there. And here's some more of this clip.
The question is the same thing I asked everybody, that this is being called the empowering voters to stop Trump's power grab. Every other candidate has answered this question. This is not
correct. And I said I support it.
So, and the question is, what do you say to the 40% of voters who voted for Trump?
Oh, I'm happy to say that. It's the do you need them to win part that I don't understand. I'm happy to answer the question as you have it written, and I'll answer it.
And we've also asked the other candidates, do you think you need any of those 40% of California voters to win? And you're saying, no, you don't.
No, I'm saying I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And what I'm saying to you is that...
Well, to those voters, okay, so you...
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it.
This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. Okay, look. Okay. Maybe she doesn't like the reporter. That's fine. Maybe she doesn't like the way the question's being asked. Okay, I could see that. But you mean to tell me that you get a little bit of resistance from a member of the press, and you are so haughty and so entitled that you're not even going to deign to try to answer the question anymore? Really? Really? Unbelievable. I just, okay, I'm going to call it. I'm just going to call it. I'm not putting up with this. Okay. Now we got a little bit more of this thing. So now she's trying to just get out of it. So here we go.
Thank you.
You're not going to do the interview with us?
Nope, not like this. I'm not. Not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you ask.
Every other candidate has answered.
I don't care. I don't care. I want to have a pleasant, positive conversation in which you ask me about every issue on this list. And if every question you're going to make up a follow-up question, then we're never going to get there.
Ms.
And
Porter,
we're just going to circle around.
I am an investigative
I have never
reporter.
had to do this before.
You've never had to do this before? You've been a member of Congress, lady. I mean, look, the press is on your side out there on Capitol Hill. I understand that. But you're sitting here. I've never had to do this before. What? You mean you've never had to actually answer a question that someone's challenging your thinking? Oh, my word. This is just straight up out of control.
You've never had to have a conversation with
to end
a
an
reporter?
interview.
Okay, but every other candidate has done this.
What part of I'm me? I'm running for governor because I'm a leader. So
yeah, which means you ought to be willing to answer questions no matter who asks it of you, whether it's a member of the press or whether it's a constituent of your state.
I'm going to make.
So you're not going to answer questions from reporters? Okay, why don't we go through? I will continue to ask follow-up questions because that's my job as a journalist, but I will go through and ask these, and if you don't want to answer, you don't want to answer. So nearly every legislative...
I don't want to have an unhappy experience with you, and I don't want this all on camera.
I don't want
Too late, lady.
to have an unhappy experience with you either. I would love to continue to ask these questions so that we can show our viewers what every candidate feels about every one of these issues that they care about. And redistricting is a massive issue. We're going to do an entire story just on the responses to that question. And I've asked everybody the same follow-up questions.
Okay, this is just, I said this the other night on Twitter, and I really, really mean it. If you want an example of the entitled attitude that is certain people, Katie Porter just showed you what the ruling class is like in America. And when I say the ruling class, I don't mean just Democrats. No, I'm talking about Democrats or Republicans. There's a certain group of people that have reached the point they don't think they have to answer questions. They don't think they have to be accountable for their actions. They don't think that they're, answerable to anyone. And when someone, be it a member of the press or the average citizen, confronts a person of this group, the ruling class, to ask them about their actions and even just push back a very little bit, they can't believe this has happened to them. I mean, Eden's ready. Hold that thought. We're going to get to that. Now, I can almost imagine what some of y'all out there are saying is that, well, maybe Katie Porter was having a bad day. Maybe this was, just a one-off, maybe this was one of those deals where, I don't know, woman's just having a bad day. Folks, there's a pattern with this lady. As a matter of fact, I think my new nickname for her is going to be the California Karen. Now, if you're wondering when I say there's a pattern, I got a clip here, and actually this is the one that Gypsy sent me. This is from a while back. I'm not sure exactly when, but you guys listen to this. This runs about 20 seconds. Now notice there's a person in the background, okay? Okay, no, just probably maybe a friend, a family member, probably a family member. I want you to watch what happens while Katie Porter is giving this interview, and you guys tell me what this lady's really like.
And other problems, and the state could lose. Get out of my fucking shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually incorrect. It's not that it's electric vehicles. It's that if we don't meet the commitments under the Paris Climate Accord.
Okay, it does. Okay, you also were in my shot before that. Stay out of my shot.
Listen to you folks out in California, okay? It's your state. You can do whatever you want. But I'm telling you right now, you elect this chick. If you thought Gavin Newsom was something, you think Karen Bass is bad. Let me tell you, imagine the indifference of Karen Bass coupled with the bad temper that is this woman. Okay? Just imagine what you get, because that's what's coming. Okay? Do not, I'm California, I'm begging you. I am begging you. Do not elect this woman. If you want to elect a Democrat, fine. That's your own business. But I'm telling you right now, I'm begging you, do not elect Katie Porter your governor. Do not do it. There is no one behind me. What do you mean you see a staffer peeping? There's no staffer. No, there is no staffer. There is no one peeking in my window. Good heavens. Now y'all going to start making me paranoid. You're like, really? You're scaring me to death. You know, that's probably true. That's probably true. That wouldn't surprise me at all if that's what happens next. Not in the slightest. Now, I am not being photobombed by Sasquatch, y'all. I mean, seriously. Lord. Anyway. Now, again, I can just, because I know my audience, you guys are very, very kind. You are a loving, caring bunch. And you say, no, okay, she can't be that bad. Oh, really? Really? Hang on. I got something to show you here. Check this out. This is from the New York Post a while back. And the headline is, Representative Katie Porter scalded ex-husband with scalp with potatoes. The former husband of Representative Katie Porter said the California Democrat frequently abused him verbally and threw toys, books, and other objects. Wait a minute. She has toys? She has toys. Why is she... What kind of toys? No. I shouldn't even ask that. Never mind. Toys, books, and other objects at him during their marriage, even pouring scalding hot mashed potatoes on his head during a fight, according to divorce records. Matthew Hoffman, who filed for divorce from Porter in 2013, said in a request for a restraining order dated April 30th of that year that he was routinely called a effing idiot and effing incompetent by his rage-prone spouse, who also shattered a glass coffee pot on their kitchen counter in March 2012 when she felt their house wasn't clean enough. Ooh, baby. California, again, I'm begging you, don't do it. Do not elect this woman. Okay? I don't care how much you like her policies. That woman is going to absolutely lose her ever love. Imagine what happens. Imagine what happens the first time Donald Trump comes to California and has to meet her publicly. And Trump says something that's typically Trumpian. This lady is going to go off. She will. Karen Bass is going to have to hold her back. Porter will probably try to take a swing at Trump. Now, wait a minute. That we don't know that that's true. Seriously? Gypsy. I love it though. Oh yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with this, Your Highness. I'll wholeheartedly agree with it. Yeah, this lady, as a matter of fact, this woman's got herself a bit of a reputation. I got a clip here from that show Two Way that Mark Halperin hosts with Sean Spicer and Dan Turrentine, excuse me. Dan Turrentine. And Dan Turrentine has dealt with her before. I want you guys to hear this. I mean, look, I'm putting California on red alert right now. You all do not want this woman. I'm telling you. So here's Dan Turrentine with his commentary about Katie Porter. With that, folks, check this out.
Dan, if you were staffing her and she came off, what would you say?
I gotta go.
What would you say? What would you say to her if you were staffing her and she did that?
Well, the challenge is that is who Katie Porter is. I spent a lot of time around that office. For those who don't know, she went to Harvard Law School. Elizabeth Warren was one of her professors. She considers herself kind of an acolyte of Elizabeth Warren. She is condescending and patronizing. She absolutely believes that she is right. You are wrong. She's smarter than you. It comes across. So, you have to start with, Mark, the fact that, like, you have to sit and ask questions and have respect for the person who's asking you questions. She doesn't respect Trump voters, and she didn't respect those type of questions. You just can't talk to people like that. And that is Katie Porter's problem. It's why so many people dislike her and disliked her in Congress.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you guys think she's the front runner?
I hope so. We might actually have a chance in California if she is.
She is today because the base loves her.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just saying, look, California, you're going to do what you want to do. I get it, but I'm begging you. I am pleading with you. If you want to elect another Democrat, go ahead. Just not this lady. I'm telling you, you don't want to do it. Well, yeah, I mean, that's possible. I mean, if Kathy Bates felt like she was too old or didn't want to do it, I mean, yeah, it would make sense if it was Katie Porter. I agree with you. Yeah. That's a good idea, man. That's all I'm saying. That's a real good idea. Yeah, that is true. Matter of fact, do I have a something on that? Yeah, I mean, look, your cat might have a thing. Look, for your porn for your cat might be deranged women footage, but please, your cat can get its jollies off some other way other than watching Katie Porter. Okay. That's just no. Absolutely not. Okay. Oh, by the way, we have some late breaking news. I don't know if you guys have heard about this or not, but Hassan Piker was found alive this morning at age 34. Apparently Hassan survived the night. So yes, I just want to let you guys make you aware Hassan Piker is alive and well and is moving along quite nicely for himself at the age of 34. Now, you might ask yourself, now, Front Porch, why are you bringing up Hassan Piker of all people? I mean, there are all kinds of things to be talking about. Now, I agree with you, and normally I would not necessarily get into this. But there is an old adage that how you treat your pets or animals in general is a statement about who and what you are. Now, there are a lot of people that will make all kinds of comments about Hassan Piker. I mean, I know Hassan Piker's name. I know who he's related to. He's the nephew of Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks. Hassan is a big lefty, okay, among other things. And there have been a lot of things said about Hassan Piker over the years. None of them are too flattering, nor are they too good for his reputation. I'm not even going to get into that stuff. But Hassan Piker right now is taking a whole lot of grief from a whole lot of people for something that he did to his dog during a live stream. Now, before I show this, okay, for those of you out there who are pet owners, or maybe it's better to say you have a very sensitive soul when it comes to seeing how animals are treated, I'm going to warn you, you might not want to watch this clip. It runs about 1:10. It's not anything violent, but what he does to this dog, frankly, is it's shocking. No pun intended, and you'll understand what I'm getting at here in a second. So, Hassan, now let me set this up for you guys. Hassan Piker is a big-time social media person. He's streaming all over the place. He's on Twitch. He's on Instagram. I mean, just all kinds of places, right? He's got the kind of social media operation that I wish I had, you know. And we'll get there someday. But anyway, so Hassan Piker is on his live stream, and in the background is this very cute-looking dog, okay? And what happens next, like I say, how you treat animals is a reflection of yourself. So with that, here's Hassan Piker, and this clip is getting him more grief. Not because it's a fake clip, because someone showed it and people are like, you POS. With that, ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
I hate this fucking country so much.
Then go ahead and leave, buddy.
You can be on a fucking mountain in the middle of Norway and get better internet than Los Angeles, California.
That sounds like a California problem to me, but I get it. Go ahead.
And this is just like a moment of anger. This is a moment of fucking anger for like something that is just so routine, so silly, such a first world problem. But it is emblematic of all of America's much more consequential.
Now you'll notice in the background, the dog is getting up. It's been laying on a treadmill. Dog gets up, starts moving around. Here we go.
Violence. Okay? It's the same reason as to why America, Kaya, please just fucking go. Just stop.
Now you notice what he did there? You notice what he did? He electro collar shocked the dog. Now, look, that dog did nothing wrong. That dog did absolutely nothing wrong. Not a thing. All it did, it didn't bark. It didn't jump up and down on him while he was talking. It just was kind of moving around the room. That's it. That's all it was doing. Matter of fact, let me back that up a few seconds. And if I'm wrong, you guys tell me, but I'll back this up about 10 seconds. Tell me if I'm wrong here. And here we go.
Of all of America's much more consequential violence. Okay? It's the same reason as to why America, Kaya, please just fucking go. Just stop. Jesus Christ. What are you doing? You're being such a baby.
Excuse me. I'd probably be a baby too if somebody electro collar shocked me. Thank you very much.
It's just you're making her stressed. She just literally is so incredibly spoiled from my mom.
Well, if the dog's bothering you that much, why don't you hand the dog over to your mom? Now, listen, I am not a pet owner. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't hate dogs. Okay. The lady in my life happens to have a couple of wonderful dogs. I like dogs in general. I don't own one for various reasons, but I have nothing against dogs. But whether it's a dog or a cat or anything else, I don't think you should abuse an animal. And all that dog did was just get up and start walking around. And apparently he feels like he's so self-important that, his opinion has to be heard, that, he cannot tolerate a dog walking around behind him while he's pontificating about how much he hates the United States. Like I said, how you treat an animal is a reflection of what you are. But I tell you what, that's just absolutely uncalled for. There ain't no sense of that. I mean, look, I didn't have a whole lot of reason to like Hassan Piker to begin with. And this gives me even less. Yeah, exactly. It moved. That's all it did. It just moved. The dog just got up, took 3 or 4 steps, and the guy electro shocks the thing. There's no sense of that. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Now, I can't blame you. I get it. There is no sense. There is no sense for what he did. None. Absolutely ridiculous. Totally. Yeah, Rhonda, I'd say you're right. And that's a beautiful dog, by the way. I'm not sure what kind it is, but that's a beautiful dog. You know. No, I totally agree with this. If he did care, he wouldn't have done what he did. So yeah, there's no sense of that. No sense of that at all. Oh, goodness me. All right. Tell you what, folks, we're going to bring this train into the station. It's about 8:30, and it's probably a good time to wrap it up. I want to thank you guys for being here tonight. Thank you for the memes. Thank you for the super stickers. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the laughs, the comments. You guys are absolutely wonderful. We're starting to get the groove, or I should say, I'm starting to get the groove back. And it's getting a lot easier and a lot more fun. So, well, it's always fun, but got to say, not having to worry about tech problems quite like I used to, it's kind of like it's making me feel a whole lot better. Anyway, we will be back this Saturday morning, 10:30 a.m. for Front Porch Brunch. There's all kinds of things to be talking about. If you've got memes that you think are funny, if you got stories you'd like me to comment on for what it's worth, hey, you see this down here? That's my Twitter handle, The Front Porch C1. Do me a favor, tag me on Twitter with it, or shoot me a direct message. My DMs are open. But yeah, we'll be happy to talk about, or take a look at what you throw in. Discretion of the channel operator if it's used or not. But yeah, throw it in. Let's see what you got. In the meanwhile, 10:30 this Saturday morning. Thank you guys so much for being here. And as we depart, do me some favors. Hit the like button, be it on YouTube or on Rumble. Share the link around with your friends. Tell your friends about us. We had quite a few old friends stop back in. Let's see if we can get some more friends come in Saturday morning. Anyway, I love you guys very much. You have a great rest of your week. I'll see you Saturday morning, 10:30 a.m. And as we depart, remember the words of that great American philosopher, Tom T. Hall, when he said, "It's faster horses, younger lovers, older whiskey, and more money." Love you guys very much. We'll catch up with you later. Bye-bye.